Alrighty, guys, welcome back. We are watching ReZero, Season 1, Episode 12. Man, I need a haircut. My hair is getting long. It is annoying me. I don't know. Anyway, we're watching Season 1, Episode 12. Last time, we watched Memory Snow, the OVA. It was very nice, very special. Honestly, one of my favorite episodes, even though, I don't know, everyone said it was like, I don't know. It was good, though. I liked it. And yeah, we're watching this. I assume, considering if we go back to episode 11, I guess we should talk about that. Assuming we're kind of done with this whole, seems like we kind of, we made it through. We're good, right? So we are moving on to uncharted waters. So man, it seems like everyone just calls them arcs, I guess. I guess probably every respawn point is like an arc. I mean, that makes sense to me, right? That's kind of like the structure of the story. Yeah, sounds good to me. We're watching Season 1, Episode 12, ReZero. Return to the Capital. You can line up and copy with this if you want to. We are starting in 3, 2, 1. They get stamps for it? If you say so. Yeah, I agree. Gotta be some more explanation behind that. I assume they went on their date already. I remember. Okay, you come on. Yes, you did. Hmm. Ooh, a dragon carriage. That, sure, I guess that's a dragon. It's very, like, bird-like looking, I like that. That's cool. Because obviously, like, dragons are, yeah. They're close to, like, dinosaurs. Mmm. Ooh, man. Yeah, you don't have any part of this. Sorry, man. I wonder how he's gonna feel about that. Probably not great. Ah, I love that. It actually looks so cool. The dragon. It's a giant chicken. Does it even have feathers on the back of its head? That's cool. Hmm. Wonder if this guy is actually a character? I kind of thought he was just a, nameless butler guy. Yeah, that would be kind of not a good idea. Even if he did know, he probably shouldn't. And he doesn't, and I guess Subaru doesn't have any standing, so okay, all right. Hmm. Yeah. You're just assuming he's married? Okay, I guess he is. Sure. Ooh. Hi there. Not the Nia. Oh no, not again. The classic Niata Hodo. Hmm. Ooh. Yeah, now he has to go. Now he has to go to the capital. But like, what are you gonna do? You know, what's the plan? What are you gonna achieve? Sure. Thanks, Rem. Yeah. I guess you could see the Appa guy again. Maybe Old Man Rom. Interesting that Rosewall is agreeing. Treatment. I'm very suspicious of Rosewall, so. Hmm. Okay. Sounds good to me. What does that mean? Of course. Yeah. Whatever you say, I'm sure. Hmm. I haven't really. Hmm. I will talk about it in the discussion. Hmm. Man, his eyebrows are crazy. No kidding. No kidding. I'm surprised he could tell. Wilhelm von Austria, the sword demon. Sure, if you say so. I wonder if holding hands has like the same social context to it in this world, you know? It might not, who knows? What happened? That was different. Is that Appa guy? That's Appa guy. Let's go. Is his daughter here? Let's go. Man, those are big apples. I always wonder about them. If like an apple's like really big, sometimes it's not very good. They get like mushy, you know? Okay. Don't become an incel, Subaru. I don't know what that was all about. Yeah, you don't need to take part in his royal selection. Okay, it's interesting that she's framing it like that, though. That makes it different. He has some interesting hair. Julius. We got Wilhelm, we got Julius, we're getting all these new characters. Oh, wow. Subaru is not going to be happy. Subaru is, yeah. It makes me think that, like, Amelia's, like, essentially royal status. I mean, I guess that's, not really, but I didn't finish that sentence. I don't have time. What? Okay, sure. Thanks. Thank you for that. Ah, interesting. Yeah, you aren't going in. Come on. I feel like she's been trying to like very gently get him to understand that he is not taking part in this. Hmm. Man, these dragons are cool. Oh. Hmm. Not again. Not them again. Please. Commoners? Oh god. Okay. I don't think she's the type of yeah. Fantastic. I love her. You think? I don't know. My mouse is on screen, my bad. Surprised they remember. Are you? Are you sure? Terrifying. Oh, let's go. Man. I guess I would run away from him too. If you say so. And maybe she is. Wow, okay. I sure, if you say so. That is a crazy thing to say, I guess. Maybe Subaru showing up was the world operating to advantage you. Oh, so yeah, he hasn't even known where Felt has been. And yes, I'm not crazy. I thought, yeah, Reinhard was Van Astria, just like Wilhelm, right? He kind of does. Oh, not again. Ow, we are getting a lot of new characters. Oh, Amelia knows her. I apples. So, what? Okay. Wow, she has really lived a privileged life, huh? I guess that makes sense with the whole commoners thing. That's great. That's fantastic. See, Amelia isn't going to get all jealous of you when you did that, buddy. So, come on. You should get a grip about this whole Julius situation. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. Uh huh. Hmm. So I'm wondering if here maybe my question will be answered. I'll talk about it in the discussion. Man. Mm-hmm. Not even that you put. I mean, it's just what's he gonna do? It's interesting because it's a thing that he can't like help her with. You know, what's he gonna do there? I mean, I guess we don't know. It seems like it's just gonna be some kind of political meeting. Like I just don't. I don't know because it's up to her. You know, she is the one who it's all about here. He has to let her do her thing. He just can't accept it, huh? Hmm. Things that he can't help with are kind of scary because of Return by Death. You know, that may not make any sense. I'll expand on that. Mm-hmm. Okay, sure. But it's not just you who has to protect her. You don't have to take all the responsibility for yourself. Stop. Stop it. Oh. Oh God. I'm not. Yeah, that's what it is. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Hmm. So I mean she is supporting his behavior, but like, hmm. I mean, I guess that makes sense when she has been helped so much by him. Oh, those are like the royal. Those were like the same things as the royal insignia that she had that were stolen from her. Okay. Wow, that was easy. Oh. Okay. So yeah, she is totally a royal selection candidate, isn't she? And that's why. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Man, she is dressed up, Priscilla. Oh God. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm sure. It's very interesting. I wonder if like that's a real thing, if she has like some kind of blessing or something. Because we know those like exist, right? I mean, obviously, magic in general does. Hmm. Oh man, what I mean, what's Amelia gonna think? Because like what they were thinking, dude, it plays into the whole like suspicion thing that was the issue when Subaru kept getting killed. Um, yeah, was that they were so suspicious of Subaru, like Rosewall was, you know. And if he's just showing up with another royal selection candidate, then oh god. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, why are you here? Like, literally, why are you here? Like, actually. Counselor Wise Men. Heard about them, right? I guess they look wise. Mm-hmm. Okay. Griswold. Hmm. So, like, what are we thinking here? Amelia is very worried about what Subaru's gonna do, which I understand completely. It's just the problem is he can't help her with this, you know? There's the whole half-elf silver hair racism thing. Hi, Reinhard. So I wonder if Amelia is going to face some kind of like obvious discrimination. Like Priscilla obviously hates her. Him, okay, all right. Hmm. We'll talk about that. He's just been nothing but super polite the whole time. He just like half bowed to him and like think about what Subaru's been doing with Priscilla compared to Julius and Amelia. Oh, we're at credits already. Mm-hmm. Just mysteriously all died, huh? Man, she is a hmm. Okay. Oh, so this was just like a sudden meeting. Is that it? Really? Okay, well, if you guys would stop talking, I'm sure they could get to it. Oh, yeah. Hmm. Thank you. Dragon's Priestess. Mm-hmm. The five. What what exactly is the implication behind this covenant with the dragon? Like, what does it mean? Okay, sure. I wonder how him and Wilhelm are related. Oh, okay. What, there's Sanryu no Miko? Oh, it's felt. Okay. But, like, alright, I see. I get it. Okay. Hmm. Interesting. Okay. Man, that is actually okay. Don't no spoilers. Okay, that is very interesting. Wow, huh? Okay, we'll talk about it in the discussion. All right, there was like actually so much in this episode. I don't even like know. Man, I'm gonna forget stuff for sure. Cause man, this was an episode. We didn't get the opening or the ending, and I don't know. We just man, we went. That is for sure. Here, I gotta close Discord so it won't distract me. Okay. Ah, God. All right, so Subaru's doing this whole radio calisthenics thing with the children. I don't know, it's cool and all, I guess. Very cute. I assume Subaru and Amelia already went on their date and all of that. Very cool, very cool. But there's this like literally these couple lines right at the very start that I've really just I just was thinking about them for half of the episode in the back of my mind because it's something I've thought about a lot near the start of the show in the first few episodes. Then it kind of took a back seat, but it's just about how Subaru and the way he views himself in the world compared to Amelia and her outlook on the world, and like how those two things like interact, you know, because if they're gonna be like together, you know, so like I just think it's a very interesting thing to think about. Like, Subaru is here doubting his own actions and helping other people. Like, that's kind of what this boils down to, you know? Which makes a lot of sense for someone like him, who obviously has a very low opinion of himself and all of this, you know? I think that's a large motivation for why he helps other people. I think a lot of it really is he helps other people to, like, prove himself to himself, kind of in a very similar way to, like, what Rem wants to do, or wanted to do. In her case, she was trying to, you know, live up to the I made up version of Ray in her head and all of that. Subaru's trying to, I don't know, prove himself to man himself, I guess, but that's gonna be rough. And you know, so him doubting his own actions makes a lot of sense, right? He thinks like, oh, I didn't actually do anything to help anyone, right? Because if he's able to acknowledge that he's helping other people, I don't think he would have such a low opinion of himself, right? Amelia's answer, like obviously it's like a joke, right? Like this is played as a joke. So I'm not saying this is like I understand it's played as a joke, is what I'm saying. But she says, there's no need to fuss over the small details. So she doesn't deny like what Subaru is implying here, that he didn't actually do anything to help anyone, right? Like, obviously after this she says, like, oh, there's all these people who were like thankful for what you did, right? But like in a meaningful way, she doesn't really like contradict it, if you know what I mean. And I think that's important because I think in Amelia's mind, her outlook on the world and everything, she doesn't want Subaru to have been the person to like save everything and help everyone and taken all the responsibility and done everything by himself, right? Subaru wants to be the one who does all of that because he wants to like prove himself, you know. He wants to, you know, he it's a combination of he has low self-worth, so he feels like obligated to help other people, and he wants to prove himself to like I don't know, try and fix that low self-worth problem. I don't really think that's like what's going through his mind exactly, but I think that's just like emergent behavior from his attitude about himself. Amelia doesn't want him to be the one to help everything and save everything by himself because she is worried about the burden that she is on other people, you know, like her whole like compensation debt thing. It's just, like she doesn't want to be a burden on other people, especially on Subaru. So she doesn't like her immediate first instinct is to not like contradict him and say, oh no, you did do everything by yourself and help and save everyone, because she doesn't want it to be like that, you know. I think really you could look at it, the truth is somewhere in the middle. You can't say that Subaru did everything or that he did nothing, obviously. But both of them have um like I guess not reasons, but just their mentality is such that they will want to look at the situation in like opposite ways, you know, or maybe not want to, but they just will, you know. And I just think that's very interesting. Like, cause it's just like, you know, if Subaru took everything on himself and did everything to help Amelia, she would feel like that's a burden. She's being a burden on other people. And with her whole like, you know, compensation debt thing, you know, it's like she's super worried about that, you know? So I just think that's very interesting. It's something maybe I did bring that up in the first few episodes, like vaguely. Now we have a lot more examples of both of their behavior as characters, so it's like more relevant now. I just am interested where that's going to go, and I feel like we're really going into that directly now with the events of this episode. So, huh. So yeah, I mean, we set it up immediately, right? We set up immediately at the beginning of the episode that Subaru is not part of this crazy political stuff going on with Amelia, right? This is Amelia's thing, you know. This is something that Amelia has to do by herself, right? So there were two different ways we have to look at this. There is the side of Subaru really wants to help with this, help Amelia in any way he can, even when it's not his place, right? I'm imagining there's like, I think it's pretty clear that he's out of his depth here. Like by the end of the episode, he's not. There's nothing he can do in this situation. He has no part in this. There's nothing, you know. This is Amelia's thing, you know. Amelia at the same time, obviously, doesn't want to wrap up Subaru in all of this. So she's going to actively push him away from helping her in any way that he, I mean, theoretically could with this, you know. So it's just, again, that because of the way they both view the world and think about themselves and their relationships with other people, they're on opposite ends of this, where Amelia is going to reject all help from Subaru on this issue, because she thinks that this is her thing, and it's her thing that she needs to deal with by herself. Subaru is going to inject himself into it as much as humanly possible, because he can't stand not helping, you know, for all the reasons that he feels like he has to help people, especially Amelia. And again, I mean, I feel like the truth must be somewhere in the middle, that in some way people can still support Amelia, obviously, in this whole crazy political stuff going on. And, like, it's obviously not true that, like, Subaru could actually help and, like, fix everything for her. And it's not true that she can probably just do everything by herself, you know? So, man, it's really, we are directly just getting a character conflict here about, like, what their problems are, I guess. I just don't. Man, I am very interested in where we're going to go with it, I guess. So we meet Wilhelm, is it Van or Von? Wilhelm von Austria, which, again, I wonder what his relation to Reinhard is. Apparently he's the sword demon, whatever that means. I'm almost wondering, like, Subaru takes so much pride in being connected to Amelia in this way. I wonder if, in a way, his self-worth is almost being tied to her, you know? I guess it really effectively is, like, especially in this world, you know? Because he's a no one and a nobody in this world, you know? So he really is kind of tied to Amelia for, like, you know, but I'm just feeling like mentally as well. I'm just wondering if through helping Amelia and helping her succeed, that he will tie his own self-worth and everything to that, you know? That would kind of be the worst-case scenario for Amelia and the way she views everything, but, you know. Apparently this guy was married. Subaru just assumed that, but sure, he's lucky. We met Felix, Ferris, whatever. We got a couple different names. We'll talk about it when we get to later, because I feel like I have some stuff to say about that, that's for sure. So Subaru, of course, really wants to be part of this royal selection stuff. Obviously, like, I've talked a million times about how, like, I feel like it has to be that Subaru is in this world in the first place to in some way affect this crazy royal selection political situation, right? Because, I mean, he shows up right here, he immediately is in the middle of all of it. You know, again, Amelia has this weird connection to Satella, the Witch of Envy, and that's, I assume, is who gave Subaru his powers, right? So, in some way, he is going to have some impact on everything that's happening here, I guess. And I said this, I was saying this during the episode too, I said this, like, very vaguely and didn't expand on it at all, but an issue like this, the whole royal selection thing, something that it seems like Subaru is almost powerless to actually affect the outcome of, it's kind of scary in a way, right? Because to me, it's felt like the structure of the story so far has been Subaru has had these respawn points being updated as like a way to prevent Amelia from dying, essentially, right? And prevent himself from dying, I guess, you know. Um, but it has felt like to me that it all very much ties into Amelia and getting her through all of these attempts on her life, you know, because apparently all of the weird witch fiends were being controlled by someone in the village. It was the blue hair girl for sure. And that was in some way, I assume, connected to killing Amelia again, just like all that stuff in the first arc, right? So, like, let's say if that's what Subaru is essentially his purpose in this world is to prevent Amelia from dying, then if Amelia, if this royal selection business somehow goes badly for Amelia, and that this is like the new conflict that Subaru is like tied to, I assume he has a new respawn point, right? And then he has to somehow make this royal selection meeting or business go well for her. That would be rough, you know? Like, let's say just some crazy shit happens. I don't know. Let's say in the next episode, the royal selection decides that they hate Amelia because they're all racist and they hate her and they kick her out. And I don't know. And that's like the thing that Subaru wants to try and fix with this like arc, with this loop, you know? That would be really like impossible, you know? So that's what I mean when it's like, if we have a problem that Subaru wants to fix with Return by Death, and it's something that he doesn't actually have much like sway or influence over, like this royal selection situation, that is, man, that is going to be a really difficult situation for Subaru to get through, you know? Because he's not the type of person who's just going to give up and just decide, oh, whatever. So he could really just be stuck in a loop for a very long time if it's a situation like that. I don't, that's, man, a little bit scary, you know? And I guess it really does play into the whole, like, Subaru taking responsibility for everything, always wanted to help everyone thing, you know? Yeah, man, maybe it would, I don't know, maybe it would teach him a lesson. I guess it would be a rough one. Rosewall, I'm very suspicious of him after the whole, you know, he wants to kill the dragon. He basically, it seems like he's just using Amelia as like a pawn for him to do that. Man. I don't know. I am. And of course, yeah, I mean, here's just, you know, compensation equal to what Subaru gave up, right? She doesn't want, yeah, she always wants to give back what she feels that other people give her, you know? So if Subaru is in a position where he's doing everything for her, then like, rough in her mind, you know? I'm sure you know what I mean. So, I don't know. Wilhelm is the sword demon. Couldn't tell you what that means. What did they call... Reinhardt is the sword saint, right? That's what they called him? Who knows? Something, I guess. I wonder who's better. Reinhardt seemed like God, so I don't know. I don't know. We meet the Appa guy again, which is very cool. And yeah, I'm trying to remember what even happens. We go up to the capital, we see Julius, right? Oh yeah, I guess we did bring up the whole Reinhardt Felt thing. I should have seen that coming. I should have predicted that Felt was going to be the the last royal selection member. Surely there were enough hints for that, right? Hmm. All right, so we get here, we meet Julius, all of this. Subaru is ridiculously jealous about this. I said this during the episode about how, like, I guess we don't really have a concept of, like, Amelia's actual position in society, you know? I feel like she's, you know, I mean, she's one of the 5 people who might become the next queen of the universe, apparently. So, like, yeah, it makes sense random people coming up and kissing her hand. Like, Subaru needs to get used to it, I guess. I don't know. He really throws a fit. Like, man, he needs to get a grip. That is for sure. I guess, like, if we want to, like, actually think about it, I guess it's almost like Julius is stealing his kill. You know what I mean? Like, Subaru wants to be the one who takes responsibility for everything and, like, do everything for Amelia, not just Amelia, but everyone in his life, essentially, right? He's kind of doing this for Thoram as well, stealing her thunder. So, like, I guess Julius feeling like a threat to Subaru. Subaru feeling like Julius is a threat to him. More so, you know, like, not just in the romantic sense, like, obviously that's, like, what's being specifically shown here, but also in, like, the, you know, he is going to help Amelia. He is someone close to Amelia who is like another, another capable person, and Subaru can't have that, Hmm. Apparently they have a FaceTime mirror in there. That's pretty cool. um, so we go off to save Priscilla from the punks. Priscilla is very cool. I don't know. I like her. She's interesting, I guess. She's mean, but I wonder, like, so Priscilla says this whole thing about how the entire world exists to serve her, essentially, which, like, obviously plays into her attitude. She calls everyone a commoner and all of this, and, blah, blah. She talks like Sadako and Higurashi. Like, I guess, I wonder if that's, like, real. Like, that might sound crazy, but she said it twice. Like, we know, like, blessings exist. Felt had the blessing of the wind or whatever. I mean, magic exists in general. Subaru has returned by death. So, like, this kind of thing does exist. So, I wonder if that's, like, true. If she actually does have some kind of, like, thing like that on her. Which is, like, crazy, if so. Hmm. Um, it's interesting that Rom hasn't known this whole time where Felt was. But I guess I am saying this whole time, but how many days has it been? Not very many, like 5. Because, I mean, yeah, we experience those days over and over and over and over again. So, hmm. Of course, Subaru is immediately jealous of God, what was his name? What was his name? Tell me. Tell me his name. Come on. Give it to me. Al. Al was his name. We met so many characters, sorry. Al is his name. Amelia is like scared of Priscilla. I guess I can't blame her. Priscilla's very mean. Um God, I just have to point out like how stupid Subaru is. He's throwing her an apple, being all close to her, all of this, and he's this jealous of Julius. So, like, what Amelia is thinking here, because we do know now that Priscilla is a member of the royal selection. It just goes back to like the issue at the beginning of the previous arc, right? Is that Rosewall was super suspicious of Subaru and was ordering to have him killed. Or Rim was killing Subaru essentially, right? Because like they were super suspicious of him. They didn't know who he was. Of course, they would think, just like all this other crazy shit going on with Amelia, that he's, someone here to kill Amelia, right? So him hanging out with Priscilla is obviously, like, not good. It is very interesting that when we get to the Capitol later and he walks in with Priscilla, that Rosewall just, like, dismisses it immediately. So maybe Rosewall is just over that and just knows that Subaru's, like, real with it? I don't know. It's... man. Of course, just more, more the thing with, of course, Subaru. Like, of course, Subaru, it's just crazy because it's both of them are kind of being wrong in a way, where it really isn't any of Subaru's business. But Amelia not wanting to involve Subaru in it both makes sense, and it's also, like, the reason why she's actually doing this, though, isn't for, like, that reason. She's too worried about not involving Subaru in this, right? I mean, like, I guess it makes sense that she wants to not involve him in everything and always. It's Amelia's position on this, not wanting to involve Subaru in it, is certainly a million times more understandable than Subaru's uh, injecting himself into it without her wanting him to. So, God, and he immediately betrays her trust. That's actually, like, man, that is rough. That is rough. And like, oh, he thinks all of this stuff about how like he has to stay close to her because there are people who want to kill her. But like, what's he gonna do? He can't. It's not like it's just him accepting impossible responsibility that just has. I mean, like, I don't. He can't be responsible for everything in Amelia's life. And if he's tying his self worth to that, then that is gonna be a rough situation for him because that is not gonna work out forever. There are gonna be things that he can't fix for Amelia, and he needs to accept that. And of course, Rim like goes along with it. But I guess like I can excuse that on her end because like she has this very positive view of Subaru. Obviously, worked out for her. So, and he's going in Priscilla's carriage, and yeah, we talked about what that looks like. So, great, fantastic. He's the APA handler. Hmm. Obviously, like if we're actually talking about this royal selection business, Priscilla is not. She has no business here. She is not. She is not royalty worthy. Like there is no way she would be a very good leader. Um, we'll talk about that more at the end because I think Felt's introduction into this is very interesting because it really makes me think. God, Subaru really did not do well by Amelia here. And it's interesting because it really is it's his insistence of helping her that is going to directly erode her trust in him. I feel like it's going to have some kind of bad outcome here as well because obviously it's been mentioned a bunch of times how worried she is about like what he's going to do if he's here, and now he is here. So I assume her worries are going to be confirmed. Hmm. And again, it is very interesting that Rosewall essentially dismisses this outright. But I guess I don't know. I guess we are in the middle of a busy, political meeting. So if Rosewall did now decide that Subaru has to die, this wouldn't be the time or the place. What's up, Reinhard? Here is Felix Argyle, who, despite appearances, he is male. Do I really want to talk about this? Kind of do. Because it's something I feel like I can't just ignore. I don't want to ignore it. Maybe people would rather if I did, but I want to talk about it. Because I don't know. It's something. So, like, anime does this a lot, right? This is like a trope in anime. Where, what's it called again? Otakonoko? Something like that, right? Where it's a male character who dresses very feminine, and it's just kind of a running joke that, oh, male characters think that they're a girl, but they're actually not. It's a boy. Haha, joke's on you, right? Like Steins Gate is an obvious one. I have watched Steins Gate. I watched Steins Gate. My God, well over a decade ago. I don't remember much. I know it had a character like this, um, and I guess how do I want to say this? I'm not like being I'm not saying I'm like triggered and offended by it or something, right? Um I do want to say that like hmm in relation to like gender, I guess if we want to call it, if we just want to talk about like this trope and how it's typically portrayed is, God, it feels so like cringe to say it's like problematic because I don't want to say it's not like there's really any harm being done by it. This type of thing explicitly, right? That might even be underselling it. I think you really could say that there is in some sense. It's kind of it's certainly a product of its time in a way, of a different country, Japan compared to like the United States, where the United States is a lot more progressive about gender nonconformity and this type of thing. And I guess like God, I mean, how I'm into this type of thing. I suppose I could really go on about this for like forever. But I guess in my mind, it's important to remember that this type of character, this trope, is always written by cisgender people, essentially, right? Maybe not always. It's possible that it's not. I'm gonna assume the writer of ReZero is cisgender. It's written for a cisgender audience. And again, it's not like I'm saying I'm like mad at this being in the show explicitly, really. I think it's kind of cringe. I'm not really a fan of it. Um so it not being in line with maybe modern progressive takes on gender nonconformity and that type of thing. I will try to make it not bother me. I guess I'll say that. Because, I mean, man, I don't want to like I don't want to feel like I'm like preaching or going on forever. Like obviously the whole idea of a someone who is gender nonconforming, we don't I guess we don't know Felix slash Ferris, whatever, the fact that they apparently have two different names is already really kind of ringing some alarm bells for me about how they actually view themselves. But they are a gender nonconforming person who appears much more feminine than, apparently they are male, as Reinhardt said. And just the fact that the entire joke behind this type of character is always just like Subaru's reaction here, which is, oh, it's actually a boy and I thought they were a girl, ha 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 ha. I think you can understand how that can be not offensive. I don't want to say problematic. That sounds like so cringe to say it like that. That sounds very like, I don't know. But I think you can just understand how, like, that's not the most, I don't know, how some people could certainly be harmed by that, I guess, or take offense to it, I suppose. And, like, I'm not saying I'm exactly in that camp in a way. I just think I don't know. I guess we'll just see where it goes. I'm just never really a fan of this type of thing, exactly. I guess, like, it's just gonna depend where it goes. First impressions, I'm not much of a fan of where it's going with Felix here as a character and like the way they're portrayed, because it just feels like, again, because I don't want to like I it is written by someone assumedly who is gender conforming and isn't like the writer, the author of ReZero isn't someone who is gender non-conforming in the same way as Felix is, right? So I'm gonna assume it's not that I'm going to assume. It kind of is. It really comes across almost as like a caricature of people who are gender nonconforming. But again, it's kind of a product of its time. Woke gender ideology, whatever you want to call it, is a much more recent thing than I assume whenever ReZero was written, right? It's not like it's more recent as in trans people didn't exist until the last decade. But in terms of it being in the public light, yes. Especially compared to, like, Japan. Yeah. So, I don't know. I guess that's just all I want to say. I'm not, like... Maybe that's all I'll say about it. I doubt it, because I assume this character's going to show up more. I guess that's all I'm going to say about it. Again, it's not me saying I hate the author. It's not me, I don't know, woke scolding the author for not having a... I don't know. I guess that's all I'm saying. I don't know. We'll see if this character comes up more, what I'll have to say about it. Because it's something I can't ignore it. I'm sorry. We'll see. God, Subaru is so mad at Julius when he literally just, like nods at him. Like, man, no, it's not. What are you talking about? I assume Subaru has never had a romantic rival before. So, man, all of these girls are not fit to be the ruler. I swear to God, none of them are. I'm not even saying Amelia is. She needs to fix her self-confidence and her some serious issues with her. None of them are fit to be the ruler. So maybe Felt is our ticket here. She has class consciousness, I'm sure. She grew up poor. Only half kidding. I'm only half kidding, like genuinely. I guess we don't know Amelia's upbringing. We don't know any of their upbringings. Priscilla, no, she's out. I'm not voting for her. I don't know. But anyway, so we're supposed to have 5. The 5th one is Felt. And Felt is here. So, man, very cool. I guess, like, the only thing I want to say about it is it's really making me wonder, like, who's going to win this royal selection, Because to me, the obvious thing is, like, okay, Amelia's going to win it, right? Because she's, like, the second main character, So Amelia has to win. But Felt coming in here as the wild card at the end makes me feel like, I don't know, it makes me feel like Felt has to win. I'm sure it's not like we're going to resolve this royal selection business right here and now. And I'm sure, I mean, I don't know, for all I know, all these characters will be dead or something by the end. But, like, I don't know. Felt's like surprise introduction at the end, it feels like a waste to me now. If Felt is introduced as the last hidden royal selection candidate, and then what she's gonna lose? That's just like, oh, back to the slums. Sorry, like I just so it's just really making me think now that like I could really imagine it being Felt is the one who is successful in becoming the ruler over Amelia. So I don't just from like a story writing perspective, that's just what like man, I don't know. It's just something to think about, I guess. It just makes me think. I don't know. I don't know. I guess that's it. I guess that is it. Return to the capital. Um, I don't know. I just going back to the whole Felix Ferris stuff, whatever you want to call him. Do I want to hear your thoughts on it? Maybe not. Maybe I don't want to hear people's thoughts on it. You can tell me what you think, of course. I'm not being fully serious, but like, if you're, I think the Felix Ferris thing, this whole trope of a character like that, is the type of thing where people's first inclination, maybe not their first inclination, but a lot of people, all they're going to say, I can already imagine all the comments, all people are going to say is, oh, it's just a joke, which, yes, it's intended to be a joke. It's just intended to be funny, I'm sure. I mean, I don't know, maybe we're going somewhere much deeper with this character and there will be some crazy, I don't know, Subaru will learn, who knows, I doubt it. Maybe. It's possible. I just we haven't really delved into anything like that yet. And the first impressions I got from that scene is that we aren't going anywhere like that. From that scene with Reinhard saying, "Oh, they're actually a guy." So, it's people's first inclination would be to say that it's just a joke and it doesn't matter. Which, like, sure you can say that about anything. I don't. I think like I can. I'm analyzing it just like I would anything else in any story. So, if you want to comment anything like it, if you just tell me that it's just a joke and it doesn't matter, you could say that about everything I've said in this entire discussion. So, like, it's not, I mean, you can just always say, oh, you're looking too deep into it, it doesn't matter, right? So, I'm analyzing the media, that's what I'm saying, that's what I'm doing. So, I don't know, that's all. Leave a comment, tell me what you think. I will see you in the next one.